Well, calm has descended on this short stretch of water here in Bristol's Docklands. It is the first of the men's heats. It's Oxford against Manchester. Oxford, I guess, carrying the burden of all that history, all that talent. Manchester full of team spirit. Let's get up and running in the company of Greg and Nick.
Thank you very much, Craig. First of 14 races over the next couple of hours. Men's and women's finals just before 5 o'clock. They will come thick and fast and furiously. Hopefully soaked by paddle spray as well to keep us cool. It's a straight knockout. Quarter-final, semi-final, final. And here is race number one. First of the men's quarter-finals. Oxford against Manchester. Oxford in purple, Manchester team orange. Oxford, a crew that's not competed much together recently, but one drawn almost entirely from the Kingston Rowing Club on the Thames. Everybody in the Manchester boat today had to work hard for their place. Rigorous selection process. James Stanhope, Cox, Wilf, LeBrock, both back as Henley winners not so long ago. That's the quality that we have to look forward to over the next couple of hours. Oxford, precious little preparation time because of the hectic calendar at this time of year. Didn't have their first full crew outing until first thing this morning, but they all rode together, as we've said, for Kingston. Oxford in the purple, on the right, Manchester in orange. A very tight group since they started to come together in Chester on the River Dee in April. Created a strong sense of identity around what it means to represent Manchester. Both men's and women's crews have been training with B logos on the kit, reminding them of the atrocity at the Manchester Arena a bit over a year ago, the impact it had on the city. And they are racing, they are underway.
Yeah, and both crews got a good start there. You see them looking quite upright in their stance to start with. You don't want to get the boat tipping up and down. Plenty of strokes per minute. You can just see that there's the rate and the power that both crews pretty much stroke for stroke here.
Oxford in the purple. Reckon tactics will play a part over 350 metres. They're keen to leave enough in the tank to launch a sprint over the last 150. They're looking for an extra gear, thinking of it like a 400-metre race on the track.
Well, I've had a look at this Manchester crew, and they're keeping it short, they're keeping it sharp. They're at about 50 strokes per minute, which is a lot higher than you would see in a normal race. I think they've got about half a boat length lead as they're coming down here with about 100 to go towards the line. It's going to be burning now, but this Manchester crew looks like they've got a good lead coming towards us.
It is a very good lead for Team Orange and Manchester. And they win the first race. They talked in the build-up about getting off the start line quickly, looking to keep that speed up. All about moving the boat, not the water. They knew it would hurt towards the end. It did hurt towards the end, but that's the deal they signed up to.
Yeah, it certainly is. They look like they kept their bodies quite upright going off the start. I spoke to Jamie Layton, their coach, before the race this morning. He said he wanted them to keep upright because if you lean back too much, you almost make the boat dig into the water, whereas to keep the boat bodies still and just push those legs backwards and forwards, then you don't kick the boat around too much, and that looked like it worked well for them.
So the first of the races, the first of the men's quarter-finals, Manchester beating Oxford, Manchester into the semi-finals.
Yeah, tired-looking crew down here, tired-looking Cox. How was it for you?
It wasn't too pretty, but we got the job done, got out fast, kept moving away for the whole thing, so good race.
So tight, just clipping at the end. Where did you feel it was in the bag?
Maybe after about halfway or so, once we were half a length up, and then we were still moving away, so I thought they wouldn't be able to come back, and we kept pressing away right to the finish. So
I'm not even going to try to talk to your crew because you all look absolutely exhausted, Heather. Unsurprisingly, the guys are absolutely banjaxed. It's a tough old race, tight too.
Really tough. Like you can see, over 350 metres. It's short, sharp, but they are absolutely exhausted by the end. I think the thing that really struck me from the Manchester crew, they look really composed in their first 10 strokes, and that really set them up well for the rest of the race. Because it's short and sharp, there's all that kind of fear that people might get a bit frantic, but they were really composed. I think that put them in a good place.
Stroke rate-wise, what do you think they're at?
Oh goodness, don't get me to guess the stroke rate. It is tough, but they're definitely in the high 40s.
It's interesting, there seems to be tactics there. They were quick off the start, but they seem to keep something Manchester in the bank for that finish.
Definitely, and that's the composure they had in the first 10 strokes. I think that really helped. They had something to then build on into the second half of that race.
It's interesting team spirit. We've spoken about it with Manchester quite a lot. Team Orange pumping their hearts over their chests there at the moment. Team spirit comes into it when so much grit is required over a sprint course.
Massively, I think that's what rowing's about. It is about the team, and Manchester really do have this identity at the moment, and I think that's going to really push these guys on today.